Our topic is issues of aging, making your own decisions, your health. We'll be talking with 3 doctors from UCLA Health on today's edition of Senior Moments. Good morning, everybody. Today's edition of Senior Moments is brought to you by the Santa Clarita Valley Senior Resource Alliance. Many of you wonder, what is the Senior Resource Alliance? It's a group of professionals dedicated to providing resources and services to help the elderly and their families in Santa Clarita and surrounding areas. The purpose, educational outreach and resources to our community. Some of the businesses in the Alliance: medical services with UCLA Health Systems in the City of Hope, geriatric care management through Dr. Jill Brink, Aging Interventions, audiology through Audiology Associates, Dr. Patrice Rifkind, reverse mortgages, Candy Watson, financial advisor, Janelle Percy with Edward Jones, residential placement services through Joe Schenberger, senior living transitions, senior living communities, Oakmont of Santa Clarita, Mary Demkowski, real estate with Laura Smith, senior real estate specialist with HomeSmart, hospice services through Vitas and Jay Barnett, insurance services through John Corrado at Allstate, Medicare health insurance consulting through Elena Perez, Curtis Woods with mortuary services, pharmacy services through Lyons Compounding Pharmacy, and Santa Clarita Senior Center, Suzanne Nelson, home care services with Home Instead Senior Care. Today we're talking with 3 doctors from UCLA Health Systems, and we're going to be talking about your health. The life expectancy of Americans is longer than ever, but maintaining a quality of life through your golden years can be a challenge. Successful aging often involves a partnership between ourselves, our families, and our physicians. Today we'll discuss what medicine has to offer and what we and you need to know to help all of us stay healthy with 3 of Santa Clarita's finest physicians, all from UCLA Health's new offices on the campus of Henry Mayo Hospital. All of that on today's edition of Senior Moments, Issues of Aging, Making Your Own Decisions, Your Health. Again with the doctors from UCLA Health on AM 1220, Santa Clarita's hometown station, KHTS. We'll be right back. Good morning again, everyone. I'm Joel Green. The subject today on Senior Moments is our continuing series, Issues in Aging. Today we're speaking with your health, about your health. Our guests today are Dr. Joshua Schroll. He specializes in pain medicine. Dr. Schroll earned his medical degree and a master's of public health from The Ohio State University and went on to complete his residency in anesthesiology at the Cleveland Clinic Foundation. He then finished his subspecialty training in pain medicine at the David Geffen School of Medicine at UCLA. Dr. Michael Shea practices internal medicine and nephrology. He earned his medical degree from Chicago Medical School, completed his residency training in internal medicine at Montefiore Medical Center in Bronx, New York, before returning to his home state for nephrology training at Ronald Reagan UCLA Medical Center, where he served as Chief Nephrology Fellow. In addition to his outpatient practice in Santa Clarita, he sees patients at Henry Mayo Newhall Hospital. Dr. Ritu Vahi obtained her medical degree and initial training in India and then completed her internship and residency in internal medicine at Kaiser Permanente Medical Center and fellowship in nephrology at David Geffen School of Medicine at UCLA. Welcome, doctors.
Hello.
And thank you for being here.
Thanks for having us.
Let's begin with what in your minds, what constitutes good health? Don't everybody jump in at once.
Well, I think good health is, what constitutes good health would be, being able to live a quality of life that you would be happy living, and being able to do the things that you would be able to do.
Like what?
Just to be, with family, if that's indeed is important to you, which usually is.
I think probably a good combination of being in good physical shape, so you're able to do the things that you enjoy doing, and then having a good, healthy mental health as well, so you can enjoy interactions with your family, and be able to do the other things which will improve the quality of your life.
Dr. Schroll?
Yeah, I would just echo those statements. I think, at least in my field, pain medicine, I think, really being able to be active, do the things that you want to do. I see patients all the time that, are in pain, and that's hard to do. So that's what I, really work towards, is trying to get people, active, doing the things that they want to do, and ultimately being able to, spend time the way that they want to. And
what are there certain things we all hear about? Exercise, we all hear about eating, eating correctly, eating healthy, and it seems like every day when you hear about these things, one day you should drink coffee, the next day you shouldn't. One day you should have 2 glasses of wine a day, the next day you should have total abstinence. It's really very confusing.
It is, and I think there's a lot of papers, studies, research going on, and that's why contradictory recommendations coming out every day. But I think everything needs to be taken with a pinch of salt. So what is important is to do everything in moderation. So drinking a cup of coffee a day is fine, but obviously drinking 4 cups of coffee is not good. Same with alcohol use. So I think everything needs to be done in moderation, and in consultation with your physicians is always good. So you can go and talk to them about what new study that you've come across, read in a magazine, and see what their thoughts are on it as well.
Dr. Shea?
I think, to add on to her, many of us know what we think is healthy. We go to school, we're taught these foods are healthy, these foods are not healthy, exercise is healthy. In general, we know what we should be doing. It's really sort of making time, we have the time and the resources to be able to do that. Moderation, sweets, I think it's really important to be able to enjoy your life while also making sure that you're living a healthy life. So I do tell my patients it's okay from time to time to have a sweet here and there, and to splurge a little bit.
Nutrition is important. How about sleep? I could tell you that I'm not one that gets a lot of sleep. Is that important?
Sleep most certainly is important. If you don't get a good night's sleep, you end up with sleepiness during the daytime. You don't have the energy, the mental sharpness to be, to do your day-to-day activities and get through the day and be able to do what you want to do. So good night's sleep is a very, very important thing. And especially in the elderly population, as you age, you do have certain, physiological changes which happen in the body which affect your sleep. There is changes in the sleep pattern, so the way the sleep cycle is structured, that changes as you age. So in elderly people, they have more problems staying asleep for long periods of time, so they have more frequent awakenings, and they might not have that much issue falling asleep, but there is a decrease in the period of the sleep cycle, so they wake up more frequently during the night. And there are certain things which can be done to kind of help improve the quality of sleep, but that's important to talk to your physician and see what can be done. If you're not having a good night's sleep, it's not something which should just be passed away as it's normal aging. There are things which can be done to improve that.
Do you notice in your practices that as people age, because you're all relatively young doctors, mm-hmm. Do you notice that in your practices and of course when you were going to school, that as people age, their needs change? Their needs as far as sleep, their needs as far as nutrition. Do you see any differences as people age?
There are.
We talked about sleep.
Yeah,
but
with
what else?
nutrition. as people age, there is young people are more physically active. There is more energy expenditure by the body. Your needs to meet that are more, so you eat more. But as you age, those things change as well, and that's why you would see that in elderly people, you don't feel the need to eat that much. There is a decrease in your appetite because you're not as physically active as young people. So the body's requirements are changing.
So when you get older, it's okay just to take a lean cuisine and put it in the microwave every night?
No, absolutely not. You still have to eat a healthy, balanced diet.
Oh.
Yeah. So another thing that I've noticed is, with younger patients, many times the issue is sort of gaining weight, eating too much, getting too much weight. As we get older, there are times when we eat too much and we gain weight, but there are issues with weight loss as well, and that can be a serious issue as we get older because if you lose muscle mass, you become more frail, and that puts you at greater risk for falls and for incidences which may send you to the hospital. So, if you do note that you're losing weight, it is very important to speak to a physician to make sure that that is taken a note of and that we can get to the bottom of it.
What are some of the issues that you see of middle-aged and older patients that you have? Issues like imbalance or depression or incontinence. Do you see any of that in your practices?
Yeah, one of the most common and serious ones is problems with balance. As people age, they do have problems with balance and gait and are at increased risk of falls.
Why? What causes some of those problems?
Some of the issues are as we get older, our senses are not as keen as they were before, and so things that are important in balance are the other senses as well. So your vision. If your vision starts to decline, you're unable to see where you are and cope with your balance. Being able to hear where you are, the things around you, also helps with your balance as well. So these things are very important when it comes to your balance, your being able to walk safely.
You tend to be on more medications too,
Yep.
and a lot of medications can have the side effects of balance issues, can put you at increased risk of fall. So that's also an important thing to discuss with your doctor about regarding the medications that you're on.
And a number of medical conditions that you might have as you grow older, blood pressure being an important one. So, as you grow older, there are people, like Dr. Scholl said, medications, you're on blood pressure medications, but if you're too aggressive with them, especially in the elderly, there's a higher risk of the blood pressure dropping too low and then people getting dizzy and falling down as a consequence of that.
You are listening to Senior Moments on Santa Clarita's hometown station, KHTS. We will be back right after the break.